guess we'll just pick up where we were yesterday.
Okay.
I was talking with Tyson last night how I didn't agree with the 12 principles of animation.
Oh, what do you guys talk about?
Because they don't have silhouette, which I think is an important enough subject to warrant its own thing. Just how important strong silhouettes are in animation. It's like, I guess that's also like a general principle of art.
Yeah.
But
does that fall under like staging and appeal, maybe?
Maybe.
not really though. I think it still warrants like its own section.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be like, I'd say like it's a subcategory of solid drawing, maybe.
Yeah, I guess so. It might go under solid drawing.
If you want to talk about it.
Well, also these rules were made in like the 40s.
Not that old, is it?
They're pretty old, right?
Maybe like the 60s.
No. My dad's in the book.
Oh.
So
Your dad's from the 40s?
so it must have been like 60s.
Okay.
70s? Anyway.
I used to revise it.
Alright.
And the other one was that I wish smears was a thing. Just because animation smears are so unique to animation.
Yeah. They're an art form within themselves.
Yeah. So yeah, I wish that was like approached in it. But I guess, I don't know if it's approached in here.
Smears.
I'm sure it is. But just in terms of like the 12 principles, I feel like maybe it could have been 14 principles.
Why don't we just get rid of some other ones?
Get rid of them.
Yeah.
What?
Get rid of
Solid drawing.
staging.
Get rid of overlap.
I don't know. It's like, is it the 12 principles of making an animated film or the art and act of actual animation? That's what I don't know, which it actually refers to.
Well, I mean, back then it was just for
The same
movie.
thing.
Yeah, for making a movie.
Making a movie, making a cartoon. All the same thing.
That's true. So maybe it's okay. I think we just think of it differently now.
Back then there was no cartoon category. Snow White went up against Gone with the Wind or whatever movies were out at the time. Yeah, maybe it wasn't that time.
Did you guys want us to teach you more like animation basic kind of stuff, or do you want to learn about like sorry, how animation like is different in games and stuff?
That's fine too. I thought that's what you wanted to cover.
I did, but I don't know if you guys feel like you need to go over some more basic kind of stuff.
What's the other basic stuff?
So there's a few more assignments that you can do. The kind of stuff that we did at CalArts, we did balls. We did a pendulum, which is kind of similar. I feel like a pendulum might be easier than a ball.
Yeah, because the ball is just to make you think about it in general. The pendulum is where you actually learn the spacing of stuff.
But you learn spacing in the ball too.
Yeah, but we just kind of throw you out there to
Yeah,
for yourself
that's true.
first.
So you could do a pendulum. Another assignment we did was animating a roller coaster, where it's like obviously the arc is defined, it's just the track, and then you can kind of have more fun, kind of giving it a little bit of
Right.
Crazy momentum or like build up and then speed.
That's pretty
So that's
It's all
another one you
spacing
can do.
exercises.
One that we did was making a flour sack jump. So it's like a flour sack. It has like it has his little arms and his little legs. So you can kind of like give it some character.
Is it flour sack or potato sack?
For me, it was flour.
Okay.
I think I did that in fourth year.
Is it fourth year?
Third year?
Whoa.
I think it was just like an exercise to like come back and go over the basics or whatever.
Okay.
Potato sack would just be lumpy.
Yeah, flour sack would be smoother.
Yeah.
Like flour sacks nowadays, like made of like not cardboard, but like thick
They're
paper.
thick. Yeah. They don't
have
they're
those
like they're
things
fully
anymore.
stuffed, so you can't.
It's a cartoon flour sack.
Yeah.
I'm sure this assignment originated from a long time
a
ago.
long time ago.
I don't know. Do you guys want to give that a shot?
You guys know what I do?
How long would that take though?
Seems like
Depends on you.
Yeah.
You should have done it for homework.
I know.
a flour sack for homework?
No, you should have done some balls for homework so I could go over it.
Sorry.
What was that?
Had one job. Berate these guys.
Did anyone send you?
It's gonna happen in like 10 minutes on the chat.
Yeah.
Some people want game animation instead.
Yeah. Okay, so this is kind of the stuff that I talk about in my talks, but I guess because we were trained in like normal animation, so you have to kind of like relearn a lot of the stuff when you start working in game animation, whether it's 2D or 3D. And I think we covered this a little bit yesterday, but it's because, you know, in a film, you want to convey, you know, the character's personality, the character's emotion, you know, like what's happening. Like there's a lot of different things that you can use, kind of like timing and atmosphere and all these things to convey. But in a game, the point of the game is to play it. So all the animation that you're going to animate has to serve the gameplay.
Right.
So, for example, like a player character, if you want to throw a punch, you're going to have to do it pretty much immediately if you want it to feel responsive to the button press. Whereas an enemy, you want him to have like a big wind up before doing the punch so that the player has time to react. And that means like in players it gets kind of difficult because that means you don't have time for anticipation a lot of the time. And we kind of cheat it. Like we can even do like one frame to like contrast before throwing the punch out.
I think you need at least 2-ish.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But then there still are cases where like Ajna's jump, we animated like her, you know, crouching down before jumping up, and then we realized it just took too long, even though it was like 2 frames.
Yeah, didn't feel good at all.
So then we had to cut it. So her jump just immediately goes it goes into the rise.
Kind of has like a semi-anticipation in the jump though, like the beginning a little bit.
Does it? I don't think it
I
does.
thought we kind of tried something. Maybe we didn't use it. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it's like that's our problem with animating on Skullgirls, is that we're always trying to wrestle with like making the animation look good and read and feel like it's supposed to, but also like feel good for the gameplay.
It's interesting because on Skullgirls, the characters, they actually do have anticipation on their jumps. Because I guess in fighting games that's okay. But then for this,
because it's not a platformer.
Yeah, for the platformer,
You
it
don't
felt
need
really
the
wrong to have any kind of delay on the jump.
Yeah.
It just felt like garbage.
And another thing like we try to do in Skullgirls is because we have so few frames to work with. Like that's one thing that's really kind of crazy about like film animation and game animation is that I assume you are too, but I'm so like conscious of every single frame that I'm using. It's like this has to be 6 frames, this has to be 8 frames or something like that.
Well, things that are really important, like a jab or something, they have to be that frame.
Right. You need to adhere to like really specific frame counts, and I don't think you really have that restriction in film animation.
Film animation's like you have to hit this amount of seconds kind of thing.
Right, yeah. It's like you have a general timing for like a scene, you have beats that you want to hit, but I don't think it's as strict as in games where it's like this has to hit the other character at frame 6, you know, that kind of thing. So one thing we kind of try to do is like we make the keys like as strong as possible, and we try to draw a lot of frames that like really favor those keys, so you see those poses like for as long as possible. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Wait, why are you asking me? Ask these guys. Ask the stream. You'll find out in a minute.
Okay.
I think it's about 20-second delay.
Yeah, so we really have to like make sure those poses are like super strong, super interesting, and they read like instantly. And then the rest of the animation is kind of like, how can we make this read more, like as much as possible.
Right.
And I think I wrote up something about silhouettes. Using stuff like the capes in the hair is also really helpful, because when you have like 5 or 6 frames to like go to a punch and then return back, so it's like you have to punch by frame 3. What I try to do is have like if the character has like a cape or hair or something, that can like continue the original motion it was making, even though you're not animating the entire thing, I guess.
Wait, let's make a distinction. By frame, do you mean actual in-game frame timing, or frame as in drawing?
Drawings.
Oh, okay.
I'm always referring to drawings.
I was referring to game timing.
Oh.
So I was thinking like one frame of something is way too short.
Oh, okay.
You can't even read that.
Yeah, I think in terms of drawings.
Okay.
I don't really think in game timing. Maybe that's why my timing is always wrong.
Yeah, no, I think all on game timing.
Oh.
So.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
Now you know.
Yeah.
I wish I had this presentation that I did for SCAD, and I wish that it was animating on this. But like using hair and capes and stuff is really useful to like tell the player like this is the motion they just made, even though the actual like animation didn't show everything in between. And smears are also kind of similar in that way. Oh. Where it's like in all these poses you can tell like where they came from and then what they're doing and then where they're going.
The camera's that.
Oh, that's way. Does that work?
You're drifting to the.
There. Yeah. So in just one smear frame of an animation, there's actually a lot of information.
Yeah.
So it's useful to use smears a lot in games. I think not a lot, I guess.
No,
like
you
use them smartly.
Yeah.
You
But
should use it for if you need to cover a large distance, like
And
before a
fast.
key.
right, yeah. It's just that it so happens that that's the case a lot of the times, at least for Skullgirls animation.
It's like the best solution for covering a lot of space in like, a limited amount of frames.
Well, because what it's supposed to replicate is motion blur.
Yeah.
Right.
But also, you can't use them too close to each other, too many frames within each other, or else it looks too wobbly. Unless it's like a big motion, like a swing, like a big axe swing. It's okay to use smears for a bunch of them.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be like punch and then like pause and like unless that's the motion you're going for, like a sword slash.
Right. I mean, it always depends on the kind of motion you're going for, and it's helpful to always like reference things that are similar, or reference real life too. Like Ajna's axe swing, she does like that. It's like 1, 2
Right.
kind of thing. I almost like copied that from a YouTube animation actually. There's just this cool like axe swing that a guy did on YouTube. And I just tried to get that as close as possible because I knew it's like obviously he's doing it right because he can do it.
Right.
Smears, yeah, a lot of it lives and dies on how well it's drawn, like the beauty of the smear. Because like do you go back to these? It's like, since you're just looking at a smear, it has to be able to express something, like whether you use just like a line, like a shape, or like an object multiplying. It's like they both have different meanings and different choices that you use, and it's kind of conditional.
Yeah, I think it's the kind of thing where you have to experiment and see what works best.
Yeah, sometimes a multiple will read like way better, it'll just feel better, and then having.
Why do you think that's the case?
I'm not really sure myself. Like,
Yeah.
I try both, and whatever looks better, I end up using.
I do notice that you tend to use the multiple smears more than I do.
Yeah.
I almost never do. But then I think sometimes maybe my animation is weaker for it because it never occurs to me to use the multiple smears.
I wonder if it makes more sense to use it for things that are like solid shapes. Like the circle makes sense, I feel like,
For Captain America.
for Captain America.
Should we show the stream?
But like...
Does that work?
You have to go really close. But like Ibuki's body is not a solid shape,
Yeah,
so it'd be like hard to...
That smear is not the greatest. I don't really like that Ibuki smear that much.
Oh, I just thought it was crazy. That's why
Yeah.
I like it.
One of the smears that I kind of like from Third Strike is whenever what was her name? Makoto does the kind of like the charge punch.
Yeah.
Like you could see like an after image of her body where she was before she gets there, and they do kind of like a dithering effect
Yeah,
on
because
it.
they don't have transparencies.
Yeah,
back then.
and I always thought that was kind of cool for like a way to try to do a transparent thing without actually making it transparent. It gives it a nice like after image.
What Third Strike does that's really cool that you mentioned earlier is that for every move, every attack they have like this crazy follow through. Like there's always a frame of like hitting the frame,
that's
and
what I
then the
was
clothes
thinking.
like dragging and
Like,
the clothes like.
Oh, wait, here, I have it.
Especially Makoto's charge punch.
Is it?
Where the
Yeah.
clothes just like a whoop.
Yeah, every character has good
Here.
follow through, and that's
This
what sells everything. Like it makes it real heavy seeming.
You can see here that like
Her sleeve is like
her sleeve is like way bunched up at the back while her arm is actually extended further than the actual hitting point. And then everything like kind of settles into the right place in there. And I think it's like that kind of
I don't know.
Oh.
I can't see. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah.
Yo.
Just that contrast
Yeah.
kind of like helps the whole thing become a lot clearer.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's like her arm is like super long
Overshoot,
there,
yeah.
and then her sleeve is bunched up, and then everything settles to where it should be. But that kind of gives it that extra something.
Yeah.
Makes it seem heavy.
Yeah. We should show. I'm sure you guys know Zyphus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe on the stream, should we
Oh,
show them?
Zyphus.
Yeah.
What is it, Zyphus? That's CA or something?
Yeah.
You guys should all go to this website. Zyphus. I think that's it.
That California.
Yeah. It's a site that.
You
Yeah, I'll
should-
switch it to the other screen.
Take you for a ride.
It's a site that has a third strike rip, and you can just take a look at every sprite.
What are those blue squares?
Oh no, they show up on my. For some
Oh,
reason.
you can see it on the one. There's an extra
Yeah.
secret character.
Oh, it's Gil.
So this site
Oh,
is something that we've always just come back to like over and over again
Yeah.
because it's just a big index of all the third strike animations, and it is
So useful.
It's so useful.
The only downside for this one, and for Gil specifically for me, is that you don't get to see his glowing effect on
Oh,
his
yeah.
body. I always thought that
Mm.
was super cool. They were able to really do some crazy stuff with tech for Gil.
Well, they added this. Switch directions. Oh, that's only for Gil.
Yeah.
Because it has
yeah.
different palettes on the
Yeah,
side.
on the left side and right side.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Makoto has a lot of good ones.
I love Q's animations.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
so,
So
happy
much.
feeling. Look at that animation.
He feels so heavy
Um,
even though.
I was referencing his coat a lot for Big Band.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just the way, like,
Look at how rubbery his fingers look.
mm,
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, he has a human body underneath.
No, yeah, he has a helmet.
Oh, but a human body.
Yeah.
no, but it's everyone else has their skeletons. It means he doesn't have a skeleton.
Oh.
He's
Oh.
just like mass. He's just muscle or whatever that is.
Have you seen that drawing where it shows like all of them as actors and it's like a behind the scenes portrait? He has his helmet off and he's just like this kind of like wussy looking guy.
Oh,
And
no.
everyone, like
That's-
Akuma takes like his
yeah.
wig off and he's like, well, it's hot.
Wig
yeah, it's
That's
pretty good.
Oh, I like that after image. Can't believe that's part of the sprite.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the way they animated the cloth here. It's like it's so hard to animate cloth because it's hard to go from like it goes in and then it can turn like inside out before coming back in again, and I don't know. It's really hard, but this was a really good resource for it.
Look how long his arm gets.
I think there was one where he like punches the ground.
It was a super. Where
Yeah, I think it's like a
Special.
strong, really strong super.
they don't have all the moves.
Oh, this. Oh, okay.
The super.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one-
it wasn't punching the ground,
Yeah.
but yeah, the way his coat like flips all the way up.
Yeah.
Impact.
Has a great weight.
Like it's always hard.
Look how flowing
even-
his
yeah, even his pants.
Yeah,
legs,
it's so cool.
It's so nice.
It's always hard to figure out like the follow through is really helpful in kind of like conveying motions that your body wasn't necessarily animating.
Right.
It's like I think if you look at this, his fists are here and then they're all the way down here in the next frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's filling in that motion in between is the coat flipping.
Right.
And that kind of like in your brain it fills that gap, whereas if you didn't have the coat, it would look like it pops.
Right.
Trying to catch the between.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Look at
It's
that
so
shot.
cool. Wait, can you drag it over here?
Oh
There,
my
it's
gosh.
clear.
Look at that face.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Like he leads in with every other part of his body except for his fist. It really works really well.
I basically did something really similar to this for Big Band's Stomp. Like he does the thing where he stomps and then all the podiums like come out. Where Big Band's foot was like in the air and then the next frame was on the ground and there was nothing in between, like there wasn't even a smear. And what I did was basically this thing where his coat falling like filled in that motion so it didn't look like it just jumped.
Right.
I can find it. I have the frame done.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Go to Makoto.
No, you're gonna look at Big Bang. You're gonna like it. What attack was it?
Was it a special
I think it's
or a
a
super?
I think it's a super. It's the stomp before he shows up all his
Oh,
moves.
the jazz combo?
Yeah. No. I think actually it might be.
Yeah, it was the one that brings up all the...
Yeah.
You're gonna get jazzy. Is what he says, right? What? You're gonna get brassed up, right?
Yeah, see? So his foot is all the way up, and then it's down. So it's like it's basically only 2 keys, but the rest of the motion is sold by his coat continuing that motion all the way down.
I had a problem with making his coat work because it's like there's such a small fold.
Yeah.
So I, like,
it was
stretched
pretty
out.
hard.
Like you stretch it out over there too.
Yeah.
You just have to cheat.
Like exaggerate it.
It's so hard.
Oh, sorry.
Whispers.
Yeah, it's interesting because I would have approached it a different way. But,
Yeah.
But this feels pretty good. Probably feels better.
I think I had tried a smear earlier, and it didn't. It felt too slow. It
It's
didn't have that
interesting.
impact of
That
like
pop.
really hitting the ground.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah, and
it
then
really
I
feels painful there. Poof.
like obviously this does it better. I'm never gonna be this good.
Neither will Capcom.
Aw.
Tears.
Go
Aw.
back to Makoto.
I want some Makoto.
No.
What does that have to do with what we're learning?
Because she has crazy smears and stuff.
So you want to show off cool effects animations? Boom. Yeah, it's cool how parts of her like start transparently disappearing. Oh, I didn't grab it. Ah, damn it. Just keep... I'll never grab it.
But yeah, I think you can see like how much you can do with just like the clothes and hair, because her body doesn't move at all.
And then she has a scarf.
Yeah.
I wonder how late
Their
they added the
bells.
scarf. Maybe they're like, she looks too boring without that extra flourish.
Oh, is that a later addition?
I don't know, but it could be.
Yeah, it gives her something extra.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's see. Smears, we did overshoot. Oh, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but just like breaking the body
Yeah.
as much as possible.
Breaking the bad.
I had this example from Valentine. I don't know if you want to pull it up.
Oh, the frames. Let me see if I have one.
Is that crunch or something?
Crouching hard punch.
I had to sneeze.
Do it on stream. Get it. It's crouching hard punch, right?
Yes.
Oops.
Yeah, stuff like this where
Whoa.
that frame, go back or forward. Next, this one, where it's like her
Oh,
arm.
God.
Yeah, her arm is like completely distorted, but it's like you don't see it in the full animation. You just feel that there's like that big delay and then that big impact as she goes all the way up.
How long is that held for?
I don't
Probably
know.
like 2 frames.
Two frames?
Yeah, just like 1 or 2.
Like I would have not even just shaded down the hand, so it looks more like
Smears.
like an object, like a symbol.
What
I
happens
noticed-
at the front?
Like I noticed that for smears, if you actually add too much detailing, it takes away from how it reads. So yeah,
It's just supposed to be a blur.
yeah, it should be like a shape more than anything.
I think Valentine's jumping hard punch also had some like good body twisting in there. I don't know if it was necessarily breaking, but like
She does twist her body around.
yeah,
right?
she twists.
Jumping hard punch, you said. Oh yeah, the slash. These are pretty good for like 1 week, or 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, we were crunching so hard on.
I think this kind of goes back to the thing of like leading with different parts of your body, where her body doesn't all move at the same time. Her legs are delayed, and her shoulders are kind of like moving forward.
She leads in with her shoulders.
Yeah, she leads with her shoulders, and everything else kind of follows.
Yeah, because look at her body is turning, but her hand goes back, and then it immediately pops forward to push her around.
Oh.
Yeah,
Like a
and
lot
then
of-
you can see that go back like her return to idle. Go back a little bit. Here. See, like her body is twisting because her shoulders are still leading all the way through. And then same thing here. Her shoulders are like her torso is facing the right, but then her legs are facing the left. Same thing here. Just they're always pointing different directions, and that kind of helps sell the whole thing and make it not look stiff. Same with that the Guilty Gear like characters spinning.
Yeah.
That's why like their torsos and their legs are completely like different directions. It helps sell that motion without making it look like it's stiff, you know? That's that, I guess. Oh, my iPad died.
Oh no. No battery?
Do you want to plug it in?
I got battery.
It wasn't charging on my battery.
You want my battery?
Yeah, the iPad may not charge if the draw is too low.
You can use my battery. It's super strong.
Should be okay.
Fat battery.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That's like external hard drive.
Feed some of it.
Okay, let's see if this works.
Any of this one should put.
What the hell? This is huge.
It charges my phone 4 times over.
Let's see what the stream's saying. It makes sense because real athletes and martial artists are on camera.
Is it in all of it?
It's in all the way. Maybe I have to press the button.
Color
Here.
Crazy says her
Oh, no,
boobs.
that's on.
Her
Oh,
boobs
okay.
are a
When
little
this
hard
blue
to
light's
see.
on, that means it's charging.
Okay, let's try that. Thank you.
Rip red crossbow. Hi, Alpha.
Oh yeah, this is still the red cross valve.
Yeah, we never bothered updating the compendium. Do we?
Yeah.
Oh, I just have an old version. Then.
Yeah. So do all the other people who got the old versions. They still probably have a version of the old version.
Don't sue us, Red Cross.
Is there anything
have
that
no
you
money.
guys want to learn? Like something you want to know how to do?
Well, I have a question actually. So, I think when I see a lot of like self-taught animators, especially in 3D now, they make an animation they think looks good, but then it's more like it's a person goes to the key, but it's just like
Oh, like superposed to pose
yeah.
animation.
Like, how do you like avoid that? Because this is what people think is good.
You know what I notice is that a lot of low budget or lower budget 3D movies do that.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy.
Yeah.
It's that you're just setting the keys, and then if you go to the keys like immediately, it reads, and it's quick.
But there's
You know.
only
Some of the smaller budget 3D cartoon shows I've seen, like the storyboards would go to the animators and they'd pose each like cut or scene or like movement of the characters from the storyboards, and then kind of like it seems like they're kind of like flubbing in between, like just whatever in between two poses would be, like not actually trying to. I mean, they might finesse it a little bit, but I think it feels very pose to pose. So I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen good examples of that.
Yeah, that's good. There's
Like-
just definitely good examples.
Like that one Barbie CG cartoon is actually surprisingly good.
Really?
I watch all of it. It's so funny. It's
But
actually
then
really good,
the examples that
it's
I
all-
give is like they tend to like make each pose impactful, but because it's like spaced out like that, it
Yeah.
just looks super weightless.
Yeah,
you gotta
it's
break it up.
it's hard because it's an easier way to animate, and I think you just have to learn to like add more breakdowns in
Yeah.
between. But that takes more time.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest part, the biggest hurdle for them to get over because it takes more time.
I think like when you're learning to do acting and animation, it's the first step is you just kind of hit key poses, but then later on, it's about like building into like the thoughts of your action stuff, right?
Yeah. I think it's helpful to kind of like understand what your character wants to do instead of just like posing them and then making them hit the next pose. You know, I think.
It's like where the acting comes in. It's
Yeah.
like how would they move rather than what are you
I
trying
think
to express?
I feel like that's kind of why people like Skullgirls animation is because we try to put those things like in the in-betweens, like their expressions or something.
Yeah, hide them everywhere.
You know?
I feel like when I see particularly good 3D animation, there'll be a lot of breakdowns. Even like I've seen some videos where it's like the how-to or how they did it, and it's like they do a bunch of breakdowns where it's like this pose, this pose, this pose, this pose, and then they kind of like do a little bit of the in-between stuff, and then they kind of finesse it where they add any extra character stuff onto that from that point on. And I think that makes a lot of sense for 3D.
Yeah, it's hard in 3D because once you set the keys, then you kind of have to like fudge everything in what's called the graph editor, and it looks like a
bunch of graphs.
Yeah,
like
it's a graph.
Like that,
yeah, you like adjust the curves and stuff, and it's really kind of tedious. I guess normal animation is tedious too, though.
It's like 3D animation is like puppeteering, whereas drawing is just drawing. You just make whatever you want.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you can't draw it, then it's like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. To avoid that, you just have to add more breakdowns.
Yeah, I feel like that's just like there's the only way to make it look more like natural or character-like.
Yeah, and I think that's where you need like a good foundation and just like acting and animation and stuff, because then it's like anyone can just draw like cool keys and just if the computer can like blend between those keys, then that's perfect. But like that's where stuff like figure drawing helps, because then if you know, like when you're taking a step, where is your weight going? You know, that's how you'll know where to put the breakdown, because it's like, oh, to get to this next pose, she has to put her weight on this foot, and then she has to shift her hips this way, and you know, that's how you decide like how to do the breakdowns.
Yeah. Some of the more unnatural examples of people who are really good artists but don't do animation as well is they'd get those key poses really nice looking.
Yeah.
But then whenever they want to animate it, like either to or from that key pose, it doesn't look quite right to the eyes.
Yeah, I think that's somewhere like you need good arcs for sure. You need to know where their weight is going, like what they're thinking. Like there's a lot of like just you have to know, like you have to like really think through the whole thing and like get in their head.
There's a lot of like in student films, there's some parts like there's always like in really good films, I see like 1 or 2 seconds, I'm like, oh, that really felt like something a person would do.
Yeah.
Like I remember in our first year, Darren actually, now she's doing a cartoon and everything. Her student film had this little, like just at the very end, the little character, like little girl gets off a stool, and like the way she did it, she kind of like scooted back, and then she like fell off or like jumped off, and I was like, wow, that's like the most. That felt really real. Like that sold the whole film for me. Just like that 1 2 second thing. I was like, man.
I don't remember where I saw it, like what film it was from, but I remember just this animation from a Ghibli movie where it was like a pregnant woman getting up.
Kiki probably.
Yeah, I guess so, huh? And it was like, you know, anyone getting up, they just get up.
Yeah.
You know, but a pregnant woman has all this weight here.
Yeah.
So you, oh no, my stomach. So you have to like know how a pregnant woman balances the weight in their stomach. So it's like they're not going to lean forward because they're going to squish their stomach. They have to kind of like get up. They have to use their arms, and they have to get up like this. You know.
And I always like for that kind of stuff. When she was getting up, the husband's like rushes right over to try to help her upstairs.
Yeah.
It's kind of like every character animation shows like a little bit more of their personality, and it's not in relationship to each other and stuff like that. So that was definitely good.
You know, when Beyonce was pregnant,
I was thinking that.
There's a clip of her. I think it was either sitting down or getting up from a chair, and people were going like, she's not pregnant because that's not how a pregnant woman sits down. And like apart from like in this specific clip, it was like it looked like her stomach deflated when she sat down, which is one thing. But even apart from that, it was like she didn't use her arms to support her. She just sat down. And I think people who have had children were like, she's not pregnant. She's faking it because that's not how a pregnant woman moves.
Is she faking it?
It's like up to debate.
Oh,
Well, the idea is that she might have had a surrogate, which is a different topic. But
so one of the questions that I wanted to ask was, what do you think is the most common problems amongst beginner animation?
Okay, so this kind of doesn't really have anything to do with it, but hello stream. My 2 pet peeves in animation is when someone has an idea and they go, because no one fucking does this
Oh
shit.
yeah,
This shit.
people
They're
don't.
like, I got an idea. Like, who have you ever seen an idiot do that? Like, what kind of fucking
That and people talking like this.
yeah,
with
or driving like this. I hate that animation too.
Like they're so close to
Pantomime.
their.
Oh, I drive like this sometimes.
Do you go like this? They always drive like this. In animation.
like
Like
moving
the
their
car, yeah, the car
Yeah.
is slightly steering left and right every time.
I noticed it's not. I don't hate it that much, but I noticed in 3D when people are trying to animate like emotions, they always do like this eye dart thing, like this really quick like eye dart to indicate that they're thinking. It's like way overused.
Wait, what? What do you
You
mean?
know when you go like.
Yeah, when your eyes are just darting around because you're thinking about something. Like I noticed in like
Oh.
3D student stuff, they tend to do that a lot.
Mm.
It's like an
It's
easy
kind of
thing
like
to
a
do.
cartoon trope. I think it's
Yeah.
true that people do that.
Yeah,
You know,
I
when
did.
they're
I
thinking.
Mm.
I did that.
But it's just become like very over exaggerated.
Yeah.
It's like formulaic almost.
Yeah.
I feel like the the process of showing a person thinking is kind of a tough.
But there's a million different
I
ways.
mean,
to do
there
it.
is- there
But
is.
This is
Yeah.
the easiest way. You're just like eyes move, you know.
Mm.
Like you could do it like this, or like you can have them like kind of looking at
I
something.
think definitely I think it's if not from them not having an idea for it, it's them
Right.
being lazy. They just don't want to.
Hi, Mike.
They don't want to like
Hey.
do the whole like person like leaning over one direction, kind of hand on chin.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot of.
One thing I always liked that they really emphasized at CalArts is studying movies, just movies with good acting. What was the thing we watched a clip of Jack Nicholson where
Uh-oh.
he's delivering this whole thing and he's just not blinking and it's really
Oh,
intense.
yeah. Is this
What was
Shining?
that? No, it wasn't The Shining. It was
Was it
him
One
and
Flew
Tom
Over the
Cruise.
Oh no.
Tom Cruise?
Oh, it was a Few Good Men.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh
Yeah.
The wait, giving the speech in the court.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Um,
He doesn't blink for that whole scene.
It's so
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. and it's
Ow!
like small things where it's like you have to really study how
that's
people
so
act
scary.
and stuff. I don't like that.
I'm scared.
Um,
no, I did pause.
Oh,
Oh, you
I
paused it.
paused it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you really have to study like the way real people move, and you have to
Mm.
study good acting, and you know that's the only way. Like you can't just study other animation;
Yeah.
you have to study from life,
Yeah.
and that's a
you
huge
can't,
part.
But at the same time, it's not good to rotoscope, or what do you?
Oh,
I mean,
Oh, Leslie and Likely was amazing. What are you talking
no,
about?
it's like get out of here. It's like when you shouldn't rotoscope because that doesn't reflect animation. Like you should be studying that and be like, what are they doing, and then just like exaggerate it. In
But
your
I mean, you
animation.
could see. I mean, if you're like, you could see things that you wouldn't normally see when you're rotoscoping versus when you're studying. Because you can only. I feel like when you're studying, you can try to see it as much as possible. But it's like when you're copying like masters
Yeah.
for paintings, then you see, oh wow, this brushstroke he did this because they're literally trying to do
But, like,
stroke for stroke, right?
The difference is like, well, like in 3D, there's like mocap and then there's like hand animating it.
Mm.
And mocap always looks floaty because you can't possibly capture the actual weight of everything.
that's why like in Uncharted,
They have
Naughty
them-
Dog, they have
Yeah,
mocap,
for a
but then
marker.
they
Yeah,
tweak
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Make it look
They
more
push it to
real.
make it look
yeah.
more real
Right.
for animation.
You know what I always did like though that was rotoscoped was the opening of the Bebop movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think that's my
That's
favorite
one of
piece
the
of like
better ones.
rotoscope.
But I'm sure that's not purely rotoscope.
No, I don't
It's
think
like
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's done by animators who
Yeah.
know what to.
exaggerate and push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anyone want any of these before I go back in the other room?
But do you want
Yes.
do you want a cookie?
Here.
That's a sugar
Sure.
cookie.
One of my favorite
Junk
parts
food is
from
great.
that.
Hello, everybody.
Alright.
I'm taking this because Sonic Fox wants to play the thing. He wanted me to Skype, so I'm going to Skype.
Okay.
Which ending are you gonna use?
Fox not going to fill it,
Oh, okay.
but I can use the opposite internet too.
One of my favorite sequences from the Cowboy Bebop opening intro is when there's a guy with like sunglasses walking through, and he's walking, and then like he walks, and then like he pauses, and he notices like
Oh,
the
and then he does
camera
the thing?
like
Yeah.
does motion. I'm like, what the heck? Like, why would you? And then like for some reason that kind of really sold it as looking very real to me. And I
Yeah.
didn't understand why.
Because it's too weird.
It's
you
so
know?
wacky. Like a person wouldn't animate that normally,
Yeah.
short of like having some sort of like reference.
Yeah.
So I thought that was hilarious.
John, you should show the videos that we took for the.
When's the M&M?
So when we're animating Ajna's attacks, or axe attacks, because I'm not really familiar with how axes should feel, we did a lot of I recorded a lot of small videos. And there's one video where Brian was trying to do the axe jump for Ajna, and as he kept swinging like a plastic pipe, but then at the very end, he breaks the pipe on the sofa he was standing on, and it comes flying at me.
Really? I didn't actually know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I could put it up, yeah, for like a dev blog or something. Put it up.
That's
You guys-
really neat.
We're always recording videos for animation reference. It's so helpful to just do it yourself.
Yeah.
Even if you're not recording a video, to be able to just act something out and
Yeah.
feel in your own body
'Cause I
what's
feel-
happening.
Because I feel like there's definitely times where you have a pretty strong idea of what certain things are doing, but not everything. So like you have a strong idea of what the arm should be doing, but what are the legs doing at this
Right.
given moment? You know. I feel.
Even Ajna's intro where she has her back facing the camera and then she turns around. I was doing that and it wasn't looking right. Just something as simple as turning around. And then I got up and did it, and I realized that naturally I actually use the other foot to turn around, and like I put my weight on my right foot instead of the left foot or something. And then from that I had to like redo the whole thing.
What if you're someone that doesn't move like most people?
Yeah, that's
move?
what I was gonna say.
Like a lot of people say that I walk weird.
It's under the assumption that
But it's-
what you're doing is normal.
I don't
Yeah, I mean,
think
I
so.
guess-
If you're doing it, it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the
Oh, I
thing.
guess if you're just
Yeah.
looking for like physical limitations versus not.
Right.
And plus, that'll make your animation unique, though.
That's true. That's very true.
It's like if you're turning around and you still have like an unnatural way of moving, it's not like you defy the laws of physics and you don't have weight anymore that you're shifting between.
right.
You know,
You're still doing something that is possible to physically
Right.
do.
Yeah.
So when I go outside and I put my hand through brick walls, I can animate that and it's fine, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Totally
Just
fine.
checking.
Because then your teacher will be like, that's bad, and you'll be like, no, watch this.
Yeah. Check it out. It based on the physical world.
You're the one that's wrong, and he's just confused.
Yeah. He just gives you a look like, have you told anyone about this? No. And then he pulls out a pistol and he's like, good.
Wait, someone asks, Mike, you should talk about, well, I guess all of us, you should talk about your experiences teaching Mike to animate the lock and load cat. We didn't teach you that. You
Nope,
just did that, right?
I just did it.
How'd you do it? What'd you do it in?
I did it in PaintShop Pro because that's the only program I know how to use and it's designed for 2D art, whereas Photoshop really isn't.
Yeah.
Can I guess
Like
how you
old
did-
school, what?
Can I guess how you did it?
Sure.
You just took the legs and copy paste, reversed it.
I didn't even reverse it.
Oh.
I just took the legs and I moved them all over by one and I put the back one into front and then I connected the lines.
Okay.
Yes. And I made a frame of animation. Because the look, see, it's
It looks
weird.
pretty
Like
good.
I don't really animate or anything, but I knew what I wanted. And what I wanted was not like the regular walking like this. I wanted the conveyor belt effect where it looks like a leg is growing from the front and shrinking in the back.
Yeah.
So having the small leg from the back go to the front and be like the one that was coming out totally worked.
It's so small, you barely notice it anyway.
Yeah. But if the
Wow, that was loud. Sorry.
That's terrible, John.
That's all I know.
Also, people say that about me a lot.
Wow.
the blur on the feet, though, I really like that part.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I
that's
tried.
my favorite part.
I don't know. That was
Yeah.
my single foray into animation, other than like cleaning up some frames by like clicking on colors and changing the color.
Mm.
But I guess that doesn't really count as animation.
Have you guys seen some of the people, like some of the stories, they how they mutate that Mike Z Cat story? Like they say that you drew it and then there's all these
Oh,
weird
like
mutation-
what happened to make it a real thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the story
I don't
is
know.
like-
It got a life of its own.
Should we tell it again how it actually happened?
People, do you guys want to know how Mike
Sure.
Z Cat happened?
Story time with Mariel.
Whenever John was away from his desk, I would get up and I would draw a cat on whatever he was working on. And one of those cats, like normally you delete them.
No, I saved them in a separate file.
Yeah.
Do you
But-
still have
I
them?
have a cat file, yeah.
Can I have it
Sure.
for no reason at all?
There's like a million cats in there.
Seriously, I'm not kidding. Can
There's
I
a bunch
have
of
it?
dumb cats, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I want to see the cats I drew.
Anyway, go.
Oh, you could load it right now.
Yeah, tell the story.
But, yeah.
And yeah, just for one frame. Did you deliberately or?
I deliberately saved it.
Oh, okay, you just put it in the game. Anyways.
No, he
Kept it in there.
He
He
screwed
kept it
up.
in.
He screwed up.
No.
He told me he screwed up.
Uh oh. The
That's what
story's
That's
changing.
what I told you.
Oh,
Mike.
alright.
Oh.
Well, he gave me the frame with the cat in it, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And he actually said, "Oops." So we don't know how conniving he was or whatever. He probably
Either way.
knew I would do something with it, and then I was like, "All right, well, since this is here, we kind of have to use it." So
we
used
did
it.
not have to use it.
Yes, we did. Okay, so this is an animation stream, but I'm going to talk about this. One of the things that makes Symphony of the Night. Wow.
You drew a lot of cats.
That's a lot of cats. Did you really keep all of them?
I put a bunch of my stuff too.
Oh, okay.
That's
So one of the things that makes Symphony of the Night as cool as it is the fact that, and they talked about this in a couple of interviews, but people just added stuff to add stuff. Like, they wanted to do a thing, so they did the thing. The librarian was the thing that they just kind of came up with. A couple of the bosses were like, they just added it. Some of the enemies, they just added it. Like, people just did things for the game.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, this doesn't really make any sense, and we wouldn't have added it on purpose, but it's cool that we have it. So
This is so small.
I like that attitude, and that's why I kept it with the cat.
I think we have that kind of attitude in our game a lot.
Did I just try to draw the smallest cat?
I think you did.
He's pretty small.
Couldn't you just draw a bigger cat and then shrink it?
I want to point out that this is Peacock in her grab throw, but I messed up, so I just kept it and drew a frog on top.
Wait, what?
It's a grab. It's
Grab throw miss.
She doesn't have a hat on.
Oh.
This ghosts? What is that?
Don't shoot. Wait, what?
She shot anyway.
Oh yeah, when we were naming the sword or something.
The savage.
Why is that?
Alright, Joe. I like how those Google eyes.
I drew that for you when you're having a bad day.
Aw, thank you.
This is when Philly.
Can I have these for no reason at all?
That one's the best.
Wow. Seriously, John, are these all in separate layers?
Yeah, they're all separate.
Is it easy to
That
export
one's actually
this?
really nicely drawn.
That's my cat, because I don't know what cats actually look like. Oh yeah.
You've never seen a cat before?
I've never seen a cat before. Oh.
Whoa.
Wolverine?
Wait,
These are,
what?
These are from my streams.
Oh yeah.
So I try to draw all the X-Men.
Oh.
Oh.
What? That's Wolverine? Why is his arm so small?
It's Big
Captain
Man. He doesn't have
America.
arms.
Oh.
It's all Skullgirls as X-Men.
Oh, I
So
see.
there's Magneto.
Or Marvel characters, rather.
Looks
Yeah.
like Philly has pubes sticking out.
No. Rude.
Gross.
Let's see. Someone requested that.
Wow, okay.
Oh yeah. What?
Oh.
Did you do that? Did I?
I don't know.
Cat version.
I hate you.
Yeah. Seriously, I want
Okay.
most of these.
That's cute.
Cerebellum Knights.
It's Togekiss? Oh.
Oh, it's
It looks
us.
like Togekiss.
It's us.
Go girls.
Wow.
It's Mariel. It's
Pizza.
Mr. Mariel. Me, the P, and Alex.
Are you Mr. Peabody?
I don't know. It must have been something Alex said.
Oh, okay.
What's this? Oh, it's squiggly.
I'm really surprised we actually don't have a drawing from this entire time of you as Mario.
Oh, we did that all in college already.
Oh, fine. Those jokes are played out
Yeah,
already.
those jokes are pretty old.
Wow,
Oh.
bug.
People were calling me Mario in high school.
Oh, wow.
She says derisively about my sense of humor. Fine.
Oh, that's actually a nice one.
Oh, I think I drew that.
Yeah, it's yours.
Toad it is from now on.
This is
my
stupid.
goodness. So I literally just realized that Toad probably comes from Toadstool.
Yeah.
I always thought it was really weird that
Is
he or she
What?
was called Toad.
Toad? Yeah, no, I thought about that like.
Really? You guys only just realized
No,
that?
I realized it.
I just realized that.
That's good too.
What is that?
Wow, that one's amazing.
It's good. It's good. Okay. That's the cat gallery.
Is that it?
I have other doodles with
If you feel like separating these out and giving them to me, I would totally use them for something.
Sure. More cats for Cerebellum.
Yeah. It's not covered in the budget for the crowdfunding, but I'll use them for something anyway.
The secret boss number 3.
Something like that.
Number 17.
Also remember, donate to the thing, because all these nice people are standing here and doing stuff, and I don't actually know where the camera is.
It's over
So
there.
I'm going to do this until I find it. There it is. Haha! Foreshortening! Ooh.
Foreshadow.
Wait.
Support Indivisible.
Oh, your hand's so huge.
Oh, it's
You
bigger
know what
than
they
the
say
head.
about people with big hands? They wear big gloves.
John, do that pose again. I'm gonna pretend my arm is the arm is my arm. My arm's so huge.
Wow, okay. Oh, so I'm gonna end my time on this stream right now with a joke that somebody pasted me the other day, because last Salty we had a terrible bad joke stream. Or we had a bad joke like
I
segment.
heard some of that. It's
And
so bad.
somebody posted one on my profile the other day, thank you Full Bleed, which is this. Why don't eels and eagles work together?
Why?
Because it would be illegal.
I was gonna say
Oh,
that.
no!
I was gonna say that. It was on the tip of my tongue. You just said it too
Sorry.
fast.
I don't
It's,
have
it's only because I already knew the answer.
But I would have guessed that.
Okay.
Okay,
Anyway,
well,
alright, I'm gonna go help Sonic Fox.
Okay. what were we talking about?
Animation.
Sorry to interrupt.
Things that you. The
Oh, yeah,
question
well,
I asked was things that
beginner's
you
mistakes.
beginners make mistakes for.
Also, just spacing is a lot of issues.
You know what I did at the very start that I couldn't, like, it was a rut that I couldn't get myself out of, is that I was animating clean.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
I would draw perfectly clean keys, and then I would do in-betweens completely clean and then not go over them again. So basically my first pass animation was it. And it took forever, and it wasn't very good.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't want to change it once it's all clean
Yeah.
because you don't want, like, you went through all the work.
Yeah.
of making it.
Like, it actually took me a long time to realize that my first pass should be like a barely legible scribble, just to feel it out first. And then usually as I clean up things, I'll actually clean it up like 3 or 4 times, and each time it gets a little bit cleaner.
But like not only cleaning it up like in terms of the art, but cleaning it up in terms of timing, right? Like
Yeah.
if you didn't feel right from the rough pass, or like when you're cleaning up a little bit, you like, oh, I can add a frame here, or I can make this frame longer, or
Yeah.
something like that. This drawing long, like take more time.
Yeah, it was really weird because I just wasn't sketching when I first started animating, and I don't really know why.
I think that's definitely one of the things that I feel like beginner animators that I see do. They get really married to a certain drawing and they don't want to change it.
Yeah.
And they go, all right, I'm just gonna force this animation to work within this drawing, and then
It takes so much more time.
Yeah.
Someone said something that was like, it's like for every 1,000 drawings you do, only one's gonna be good.
Yeah.
You know?
it seems like particularly more apt for animation.
Yeah.
It's like there's so many cases where I'm like, I want to save this key, and like I spend like days maybe like even trying to make it work. In the end, I'm just like, fuck it, toss it all out and redo it, and like looks so much better.
Yeah.
It's just like just toss the keys
Yeah,
out.
because you learn what didn't work.
Do you ever feel like when you're going through the rough phase, you feel like, oh, this is the feeling that I want. I really like this, and then you get to the cleanup part, and then you finish it, and it's like the same timing, same positions, and everything, but you feel like it doesn't feel right.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing as like you have a thumbnail you really like, and then you blow it up and you start like working it, and it's like this doesn't have the same like feeling as a thumbnail.
Yeah.
Or it's like you go from a sketch to an inked drawing, and the ink loses all.
Yeah, because your brain just fills in everything perfect for the sketch.
Oh, is that what's
No,
happening?
I think for the sketch you actually have better gesture.
Yeah.
But I think they'll-
Because like the curves are very like strong.
Yeah, but I have that a lot where like I do a sketch and I'm like, oh, this is perfect, right? And then I'll match the shapes up. But
I'm pretty sure. I bet you're not matching it properly, like exactly.
I mean, it also, in terms of like inking stuff, it also has to do with your line weight and stuff.
yeah.
You know, there's like a lot of things that go into it. But I think it's just as much a problem in animation as it is in drawing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know what to do about it because I don't know how to do what to do in like drawing either.
I mean, like
Sometimes it's
the
just.
feeling.
I feel like when because I think that's why you prefer your sketches rather than cleaning them up all the way. Like, because you get that same feeling out of it. And I mean, like some artists, that's incorporated in their style. Like, for example, Kinu's like coloring style is very sketchy.
Yeah.
Compared to like other people's styles.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of adds to her like kind of full of lifestyle. Or something.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it, but it definitely seems more kind of.
I can't work with that.
Yeah. Like,
I can't. I hate being clean. I hate it.
I love being clean. That's so
Ugh.
true.
I can't stand it. It's like I like my sketches so much more than my color work. It's like I like coloring, but at the end of doing a sketch, I'm like, I'm good. I got the idea out, and I'm done. Goodbye.
Yeah, I feel like that's like extra levels of, like if you're going from a sketch to clean line art and you don't like the finished product compared to the sketch, I feel like that's extra levels of liking your art less and less when you add color to it for me. Like it's getting further and further away from the idea that I actually like, even if it was in like the same direction.
Yeah.
Because like you had like an idea of what you really wanted and you got it in the rough, and then like.
The only time I'm ever happy with like the color work thing I do is if from the beginning I know what the color work is going to look like, and I'm just working toward that. But it's like if I'm sketching and I have a sketch I'm happy with, and I try to put colors on it, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
It's like I have to draw with the intent of making a finished piece, and that's the only way I can like add color to things.
So like at what point do you feel like you've just accepted what you finished in terms of animation?
I mean, it's hard because
You got deadlines, though.
yeah. It's like we have deadlines, but we also have to get it clean enough so that cleanup can like go over it.
Yeah. You know what's surprising? I feel like if you pass it on to someone else, if you pass on to like an animation to someone else to work on it, like I feel like if they're like relatively competent enough, you feel like okay, that looks good, like the cleanup version, you know, like you don't think about it because it's like I feel like when you're working on the cleanup part of it, you get like tend to like, oh, I don't know if this looks good anymore, and then like if I show it to you guys, you're always like, oh, it looks good, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's acceptable. Like not that I'm trying to do bad work or anything like that, but
it can be tricky because it's so easy to nitpick every frame, you know. But that's not the point, for sure. It's the point is to like convey the entire emotion, and obviously, you know, if every single drawing looks like garbage, then you know it's not going to be a very good animation. But you can nitpick an animation forever and just being like, this line moves to the left a little bit too much for this one frame. And I think it's stuff like that you just have to learn to let go. Unless you want to be Richard Williams.
For games, I think you can get away with, as long as the key is tied down and like on model, and then the frames going into and going out of are close, like good, you can kind of flub the rest.
Yeah, I think that's where having strong keys is very important.
And the transitions between them, like going from the idle and back.
Yeah. Just the general, like, the keys and, like, the big breakdowns, and then the in-betweens in the middle can be flubbed a little bit. I think that's why, you know, a lot of animators, it's like they'll be good key animators, and then the in-betweeners will be someone who's, like, not quite as skilled or not to that level yet. Just because as long as you have those, like, good, strong keys, that's what matters.
That makes sense. I also feel like I guess it also depends on your animation style, because I feel like James Baxter would probably do his very cleanly, but like you look at like Glenn Keane stuff, and it's like, oh, I'm so glad that I have my cleanup artist.
I thought I read that like Glenn Keane has his own, like someone who's trained with him to like kind of interpret his drawings.
Yeah, specifically. Yeah.
Because if you pick the wrong line to ink, you're like, oh fuck, the mass is all wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going for right here, right? It's just like the most roughest idea. Like, yeah, I see it, Glenn. You son of a.
We had like this dumbest joke at school, Phil and I. It's like where he went to Japan, like hypothetical situation where he goes to Japan to teach animators, and then like the first day on the job, he's like, oh, here's a cut I did. All animators look at it and they go, oh, Keen-san, it's very nice. What? Thank you. It's kind of like
they have to be very like I feel like at that level, at those drawing levels, it'd have to be like storyboards.
Yeah.
Like that's what that level would be. Cause like, I mean.
Oh, by the way, for those that don't know, Glenn Keane's like his drawings, his sketches are just like covered in lines because he's like trying to get the mass of everything. And it's like just
and it's very gestural. And
it looks great. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks very good. And but like it's like the first pass. Like there's some really good action animator in Japan called his name is Yutaka Nakamura, and he does like a first pass animation which is super rough, second pass, and then third pass. And third pass looks, you know, clean like what it would look like in the anime, but like his first pass is kind of like Glenn's animation, and then he'd have to go over it a couple more times. I mean, I guess that's what the cleanup artist or cleanup animator would be.
It's interesting to see the animation process of people. Like, I forget, I saw some like cuts of Idol Master animation where it's like he starts off with like the most bare bones skeleton. It's like a circle and like a cylinder, and like he like very by the books like how to draw a skeleton body, and then like he goes from that into like just straight up like, you know, actual the characters, and it's like, oh, I never think that you could start off that base, like not even gestural. It's like straight up construction pieces. What are you looking at?
Oh, I wanted to show everyone. I'm sure you guys know this, but the stream might not. This is just a place where people upload GIFs of awesome animation, and they're actually really good about tagging the animator as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's One Punch Man.
Yeah.
I didn't know they got this far already.
There's a couple of really good ones. I forget what the name of the guy who does the really good ones are.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool like rough animation, and they tag it by like what it is. There's like good effects animation in here. There's good fighting. It's really cool.
Yeah,
It's a really good resource. I don't know what fucking anything is anymore.
What Fate is.
Enemy?
Okay, I recognize it now that I saw Saber. But
Yeah, the effects animation is super nice.
is this more Fate?
Yes.
But yeah, if you're an animator, this is a really good resource.
Yeah, if you want to learn effects, like
That's-
this is like the only way.
Yeah.
It's like
It's really good, but I feel like it's kind of hard to see it depending on which anime you're looking on. Like, for example, if you were looking at Fate, since there's so much post-processing over it, kind of you have to be very discerning about where the effects lines are, and like.
Let's see. Fighting.
Yeah, the art that I kind of like more for this Sakuga stuff is stuff that shows the lines rather than the actual color, like actual scenes from the.
Like this.
Yeah, because that way you can actually tell.
Genga.
Yeah, where it what they had to.
Oh, it's Bahi.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Bahi? Yay, that's cool.
Oh, it is cool. What is this?
Concrete Revolutio Chojin Genso.
Looks old style.
Yeah, it's this season anime.
Like it's.
It looks like giant
It
robots.
looks like
like that.
Araragi.
It does kind of look like one eye covered.
I
Oh,
like
this
that.
one's One Punch Man. I like all his
Yeah,
fists.
multiple arms.
I like how
Oh, is
his
this digital?
I like how his head turns at first, and then at the very end, his head
Just
remains in the
goes
same
up,
position. Yeah.
Looks like. Is that Flash?
No, I don't think it is.
potentially.
It could be.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy Kameda. There's a lot of look at
The
the
back.
Yeah.
look at the tracking on the sky.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
you kind of
where all the cuts
it's
go.
that's like
crazy.
Yeah.
It's like you pass that to the cameraman. Like this is how the background should pan around. It's like what? What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know what they even give the background artist at that point.
Yeah, I have
It's
no
like-
idea either. Oh, it's just a drawing.
Well, now in digital, they could just give you like a big canvas and then tell them to just fill this in. But back in the day, they had to like make it work on paper. You know?
Yeah.
Imagine how insane.
I
that
like
is.
how that one guy's rotating like that off of the camera in the
Yeah.
distance.
They just like turn to statues.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Have some more.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I also like this color blocking. It's very useful in telling where all the different pieces are.
Helps make it very.
Is it
readable.
good, the One Punch anime?
Man
One Punch
in general
Man?
is good. You should
It's
just
fun
read
to
it.
watch.
I've read it.
Oh, watch it.
Oh, actually,
This is nice because it's rough.
It's birdie.
since you guys are talking about animation, I have a question.
Sure.
So as someone who doesn't really animate, one of the things that I noticed, because you were talking before about like making sure that people move like people, right? Like you move like a physical thing, you have weight, you can't stop your arm in one frame, all that kind of stuff. In making Skullgirls, we looked a lot at Third Strike stuff, and one of the things that I noticed is a move that you see all the time in Third Strike, Ken's crouching forward, does something with his leg that doesn't look physically possible. I mean, aside from the
Let's pull it
squash and
up.
stretch stuff.
No, you had it. No, you had it.
No, you had it.
You had it.
There you go. Down.
Okay.
Third strike, y'all. It's street fighter.
Crouching forward.
Three. Crouching forward. Medium kick.
Okay.
Crouching.
Yeah, the one below, just below it. Yeah.
Right? Your leg can't do that.
Okay, he's like falling
What?
and grabbing himself.
It goes, like, look at that. Do you have a thing that can go through the frames?
Sure.
Photoshop
The
will
one
do that,
weird
right?
one is like that one where the foot is like right underneath his head, I guess.
Well,
Well, so my question was going to be, not should you not do stuff like this, because you obviously should do stuff like this, but I have always thought that being able to, so.
Yeah, he's just falling and then catching himself.
What's wrong
No,
with
his
it?
foot or his leg, like that. I don't know.
It's like
Well,
It comes from behind him, like all the way basically straight out, or like, straight out next to him, and then like straight up in front. Like none of that looks possible to me.
well, it's like kind of breaking the body, right?
Yeah.
So my question was going to be, this sort of stuff is perfectly acceptable in 2D, right? And it's one of the reasons that you picked to do 2D. Is this a reason to pick doing 2D over 3D? Because
Even
3D
so,
might
You
work
should
in-
still be able to break things in 3D.
Okay.
The best 3D animation is breaking stuff
Okay.
constantly.
the slight difficulty in doing this in 3D is that because the camera angle might be different, it
Right.
might not read
It
as
has
well.
to look good from
Every
different
angle.
angles and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, because then here, where his foot goes up into the camera, towards the camera,
Yeah.
and then slides out, it might look funny if you look at him from like the front view or something.
Right.
I mean, we should. Have I shown you the DOA animation stuff?
No.
You should-
Yeah,
you should-
We were
Um,
talking about it yesterday, but
We're
you
having a
didn't show me.
meeting today, right?
Well, I mean, you showed.
Okay. That's
I wonder. You don't have the thing where you can step through YouTube videos.
No,
Can't
they-
you just
they-
do that by
they
putting it
said-
on 25 frames or 25%
Yeah.
speed and mashing
Let's-
spacebar?
Load up the DOA 4
That's
trailer.
what I do.
DOA 4. Why DOA 4?
Or 5?
The newest one?
Sure.
I think it's this one.
2012, huh?
That was a while ago.
Wow. I don't know.
Content inappropriate for children.
Yeah, we do this very often, where we look through YouTube videos at slower speed to understand.
There's one part. I think it was this.
Uh,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Right there, look at that part. Yeah.
Yeah, see? Shit like this. They
Okay.
do it in 3D.
Okay.
look at that
Concept.
over his neck.
See?
Right. Wow.
And that's
Guilty
it's
Gear. Your butt is over by your face level.
yeah, it's the same thing that we do.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah. Like, they do it without even having to, do any warping or stretching. They're just breaking the model instead.
Yeah.
Right.
See?
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
This is very flexible.
But you don't notice it. It just
Nope.
feels right.
Yeah.
All right.
Play
Thank
that-
you.
Play that animation in slow motion from the beginning.
This one?
The one we were, that one we were looking
Let's
at.
see.
You can just hold down spacebar.
There you go.
Oh, that's a good editing.
Yeah, you don't notice it.
Right.
And they were doing this even in DOA 1.
Okay.
So they already knew. But,
Akira, so he doesn't do any of that there because he's a virtual fighter.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on.
The style of the game.
Yeah. Wait, is this the same thing? Oh, did I click it again?
Yeah.
What?
Such seamless transitions. Well, look at that leg.
Does anyone use that actually?
This trailer did.
That clown outfit.
All right. Thank you, because I wanted to ask that for a while.
That's some good follow through.
It's pretty tricky though. I feel like you need to know that, make sure that it looks
Go
good
ahead.
from every angle.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm actually really curious how that stuff would look from the front,
Yeah.
or at different
Or
sides
side,
when you're
probably.
like not on a
On a side
flat
angle,
fight
yeah.
plane. Yeah.
Oh man, she does stuff
Probably
like that all the time.
ridiculous looking.
All right.
She didn't do anything
What the
there.
heck? Messed up player.
All right. Because I know that like in 2D versus 3D, if you want to add if you want a character to be a lot of different things, then you would prefer to do it in 2D because you just draw the frame and then they're a boat. Whereas in 3D, you have to model a boat. But I was always wondering about this kind of stuff.
You love that boat example.
I do love that boat. Dude, have you ever read Teen Boat? Because if you haven't, you should.
What's Team Boat about?
It's a webcomic about a teen who is also a boat. It's a satire of all the Teen Witch and whatever webcomics. But,
And
yeah.
there's a better quality one.
Is this DOA 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's old.
Look at it running on the.
Yeah, but you know what the really
Saturn.
funny part is? They're still using animations from it.
Wow.
That's like the main thing that 3D gets you is like freaking Tekken's been using the same animations for like 15 years or whatever.
Look at that Saturn
They're
board.
so
or not Saturn board,
cute.
the Sega arcade board. The Model T board.
I always liked
The
DOA
Model
1
T board? Can
Model
you get
2.
it in any color
It's
you
Lei
want?
Fang,
Model
right?
2.
Model 2.
With the ponytail.
Yeah.
She was the reason I bought this. I bought this when it came out. And I was like, the girl with the ponytail's really cute. I want this. And then they fucking gave her like the long braids or whatever. It's not cute.
Oh, which is funny because I really like Lei Fei from like
Oh God.
the DOA 2 on.
Oh no, I only like her in this.
Whoa, it was Rolento.
Babe.
I mean Rolento.
Let's see if. No, no. Ah,
Oh, no.
it's pretty normal.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was
just-
hella Virtua Fighter.
Yeah.
Man, they were really going for it with this
Whoa,
game.
the smoke is cubes. Look at
Yep.
that.
The
Oh,
smoke
it's
is
interesting.
cubes.
Oh weird.
Oh, there.
Yeah. You just press left.
Oh, really?
Remember to. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see it.
Is it on 25%?
Yeah. I used to have a plugin that let you go frame by frame, but then YouTube changed and then it broke all the extensions.
Yeah.
Do a kick. Do a kick.
Oh, no, that's pretty.
It's normal.
Oh, her
That
head.
one's pretty broken.
Uh,
Small walk.
there's a great story of
There. See?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so even all the way in this one, they were doing it.
Okay.
There's a great story where Itagaki went to talk to the Virtua Fighter creator to ask him like, how do you make Virtua Fighter? Like, we're trying to do the same thing in 3D, and like instead of giving him like a technical answer like he wanted, he gave like this very philosophical answer, and
Oh,
Itagaki
like-
was like, wait, what?
Yes, we go out every morning with the frogs. And then we buy 6 Nikuman and distribute them evenly among our team of 40 people.
Yes, exactly. That was it, exactly. And Itagaki had to go home and
Oh.
like what
And
am I
each
supposed to get
day,
from
I
that?
look at the poster in my room that says, Ryu is strong. And I adapt that to Akira, and then I make him a very difficult character, so that all the people that come from Street Fighter will be very confused by this game.
Isn't it interesting how the main character is the most confusing?
Is the way we make Virtua Fighter. Also, backface culling. What the hell is that? Yeah, programmer joke. I'm gonna go now. Okay,
I get
well,
it.
What?
I know what that is.
What? Backface culling? Well, yeah, because it's an artist joke too.
Yeah.
Okay.
You did it. Oh, those are pineapples. Those are really cute.
Oh, my shirt?
Yeah.
Yes.
And there are people.
I want a shirt with
green
pineapples
hair.
on it.
Go to H&M.
No, that's okay. All right, I'm done interrupting now.
Okay,
I love
goodbye.
asking stupid questions though, because normally when I ask them, you just give me a look. So if I ask them now, you can't not answer them.
If you really want to know, we can always answer your stupid
I
questions.
know. You're very nice about it.
Are you off camera now?
All I have is stupid questions.
Alright. So now, what
Okay.
other?
Do you guys have any other questions about like how to animate stuff?
Should we do some exercises?
Yeah, let's do more
We got
exercises.
some.
Okay, what's the exercise?
You want to do roller coaster?
Animate a walk.
a
A walk cycle.
Animate.
Ewok.
Animate squiggly.
Oh, you know what? Another exercise we did was animating a foxtail, like flipping back and forth.
Yeah.
That was really hard
Yeah.
when we did
To
it.
get the shapes and volumes correct.
Yeah.
Do you have to like get a video and reference a foxtail?
It helps.
So would that be something you would animate straight through? A foxtail?
Yeah, I think so.
I tried every single method possible. For
Yeah.
me, I have like 3 keys and then I try straight ahead through them. If it doesn't work,
Do you like?
I don't know.
Would you? Is there a method like you can see, like an onion skin of the 3 keys, like very lightly, and
In
then,
Photoshop?
Yeah, well, I mean, like if in animation in general, if you see them very lightly and you have the relative positions, and then you try to straight through so that you get through all of them without actually having to use those exact same keys. Would you ever do that?
Like you're using the animation without using the animation?
Yeah. So like, let's say you drew those keys,
Uh-huh.
but you make them transparent, or like you make them very opaque, like or very very light, like let's say 30% opacity in the background.
Uh-huh.
So you have a general idea of what beats you should be hitting,
Right.
but not following it exactly. You
Oh, yeah.
animate over it.
Mm.
Like that.
Yeah, I do that. That's like drawing arcs, basically, almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can do it that way too. You don't have to like make it match up exactly with those frames.
There's no wrong way to get to the final product,
Mm.
as long as you get there, you know?
Mm.
Okay. How does the foxtail work?
It's like, yeah,
Yeah, like this.
we're all doing it now.
What was I gonna say? You know what I find really helpful for game animation in particular, where you know that the camera is locked in place. Your character size isn't going to change ever. What I do is always keep the idle frame on at a very low opacity, so that I know what size the character is supposed to be, and then my proportions aren't going to change. And it's very easy to be like, you know, if I need to draw a new head, I can still just draw a circle over the idle frame, and then just know that I have the head size the right shape, or the head, size.
So if you were drawing something like a person running in perspective, which doesn't happen for our game, but let's say for an example of an exercise, you would have like a head size from where they start and a head size for where they end, and then kind of like animate in between that, so that
Yeah, I mean, I think for that you'd probably be drawing the perspective lines.
Richard
and-
Williams' book has great examples about that. How like most people, what they think is correct is actually really wrong.
For what, perspective or?
Yeah, for animating perspective. There's like a whole section of it. There like a couple pages about it. Might have. Oh no, it's way past this. Oh, but what Mariel was saying earlier, I want to add to it. How when she has the model on the side for reference, what I often do is I use my little pen and then I thumb it and go like, oh, the head is about this big. If I need to like just eyeball it and then match it up to a different spot.
Oh my god, I've never done the pen thing. I don't get it.
Like I don't do it in real life, but for some reason digitally I do it all the time.
Really?
I don't know why.
What if you happen to be
Here.
like, yeah, the one-
Here's a little bit on the perspective part,
Oh.
where it's not completely even.
Wait, so
It's the same thing as like if you're drawing a road with streetlights on it, you don't place the streetlights at even intervals on your paper. They have to be at even intervals, like in perspective.
Yeah, in perspective.
So it's the
This
same
is a
thing
perspective.
applies here. Is this his thumbprint?
No, it's mine.
Okay.
There's a section just on this alone here earlier.
perspective.
Yeah,
Well,
try
it's
to-
definitely worth taking a perspective class. I did one. That.
Yeah.
It's pretty tedious, but it makes
Okay,
everything look right.
It might be after that area.
I like drawing perspective. It's fun. It's a challenge.
It is a challenge, but I feel like if you're animating in perspective, I feel like that's probably kind of like, especially if you want to get it right, probably pretty tiresome.
No, animating perspective. It's so long after
Mm.
since working in games.
Yeah. You ever miss it?
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes I like after reading this book, I really wanted to animate just like people like going into scene and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see.
People saw your stomach here.
Huh?
Some guy said.
Oh. Well, it was on camera for a second.
Do we tweet this?
I tweeted it.
I forgot again.
Did Earl tweet it?
I don't know. I think.
Where is it? I don't know where it is.
Oh.
Anyways, you need to know perspective if you want to animate in perspective. You can't BS it.
You can use 3D and reference it.
Disagree.
Well, okay, so interesting thing about Egyptians, right, is that if you look at their art, if you look at the lowest class of people that they did sculptures and things off of, they're actually photorealistic. Like there's sculptures of like slaves and stuff that they do that's perfectly rendered. Like it looks just like
Are
the
they
people.
doing it on purpose?
Yes, it's a stylistic thing where
Huh.
the higher in society you are, the more iconic you become, where you become a symbol instead.
Maybe that was to get
Like
further
it's
away from being human and closer
Yeah.
to being a god.
it's
Yeah,
divinity, yeah, worshiping.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So it's not that they didn't know how to, it's a choice. So there you go, art history lesson for you.
Huh.
I didn't know that either. That's cool.
Hello. Okay, you want to do exercises?
I want to take a nap.
I want a
I'm so
coffee.
Should we get coffee? Could we
Should-
take a coffee break?
Should we take a break?
Yeah.
Stream, do you guys mind if we have to take a break? I guess you don't have a choice.
Just write coffee break.
Go to Swipe It or something. Let's go to that Sakuga page for a second.
No, I'm gonna write coffee.
No. Who's that?
Why did you want to show on Sakuga?
Oh, I just want to see that if they have on that Cowboy Bebop movie sequence with that guy doing that jump dance.
Nope. No.
Coffee.
You spelled coffee wrong.
Fuck. Was it 2 E's? Wait.
Yes.
God. Sorry.
It's on the mouse. Oh, this is on a trackpad. No wonder it's so hard.
I use my trackpad so much. I'm too lazy to plug shit in.
Have to brag. Oh, those straight lines are so straight.
Thank you.
How did you do that?
It's called like that.
It's called like that.
Coffee break. Okay.
Turn the mic off while we're gone.
All right. We'll be back, guys.
What? How big is it?
Hello.
Yeah.
Have you seen that picture, like the Japanese girl who's like?
Over 4.2 in fat.
Did you ever do this as a kid? I never did. Made dumb faces with each other.
No.
Seems like a very Asian thing. Now we're gonna make.
Okay, so we're gonna make Richard and Brian animate.
I need to look for my wallet first, but you cannot.
You can't find your wallet?
Where'd it go?
Did you spend it?
Yeah.
Are you James now?
Is it in the car?
Turn into James.
Could you have?
If you guys are going back, then we should just postpone the exercise until you come back. Or I guess I could do like a really quick rough of what it should be. What are we gonna have them do?
Have them do. You should try the foxtail because it's hard.
Okay.
And see how bad it's gonna be.
Yes.
Rude.
Mine was so bad; it didn't make sense at all.
Want some more?
No, thank you.
I did 2 pacifist runs in the time you guys were gone.
Yeah?
Really?
Whoa.
You,
That's like way.
That's a pretty good ball.
My record is now like 9 minutes and 38 seconds instead
it's
of
like a music video.
3 hours.
I want to try animating a tail.
Oh, you want? I'll give it to Sue then.
Sure.
I'm gonna change it to tail.
Could you animate Sonic Fox's tail, which would basically be just make it blue?
I made tails. My first tail was like Tails' tail.
Hold on. I gotta. Yeah.
And I'll entertain the screen with my idle banter.
Did you? Is this a new thing, or can I make a new file?
Yeah, you can just erase everything. Just oh, that's fine too. Pass me my coaster actually. Thank you.
I don't have the thing on me though.
Oh, what's still on you? Hello, stream. I will answer any questions that come up from the chat.
Hi, I was just there. Did I happen to leave a wallet at the?
Oh, Brian.
Yeah. What are you doing? I can't see your chat.
Oh.
I mean, I guess it doesn't matter that much.
Hello? Oh, Brian.
You can just put it, drag it in.
Okay.
What the hell? This is fucked up.
Have you never done that before?
No, CS5 still looks like old Photoshop. Like, this is how Windows usually does it.
Yeah, do you guys have any animation questions? Well, Mariel animates a foxtail.
J-U-N, John. Oh,
What tablet software are you using
Thank
right
you.
now?
I'll come right away. Alright.
So, I'm using Mariel. Are you drawing a fox butt? A
Yeah.
dog butt? So detailed. We're using an Intuos.
Oh, it's terrible. Hold on.
We're using an Intuos 4 or is it 3? Is that a sausage?
Ready?
No.
It's stuck.
Oh, it's stopped?
Remember that? No, you gotta scribble with it somewhere else. Remember I told you about yesterday?
But it's not undoing.
Yeah, I keep scribbling until it decides to release it.
Cough full of yours.
See?
Going to pick up my
Now do you see why I was so
Yeah.
annoyed yesterday? Okay. We're using Photoshop CS4, I think? It's a cat. And the Intuos 3 or 4, I believe. Actually, my setup for here is I have a monoprice display tablet that they made like, oh, it's a good cat. that they made, they only made it for like a few months and at the end of December in 2012 or 13. It was like $450, I think, which is a really good price back then for a display tablet.
Oh, shit. Your
My things are one key over.
Oh, it doesn't go down here. God damn
But yeah, it's like I can't afford a Cintiq, so I got like a monoprice one. But the thing is, they stopped supporting it like the second came out, and so now that I upgraded to the new OS X, it just doesn't work. It just completely busted. So I had to spend this weekend like uninstalling El Capitan and going back to, I think I was on like Mountain Lion or something, or just Lion. I can't even tell. It's strange that they call it a Mike Z cat when you're the one that drew it, Mariel.
Yeah.
What do you think about that appropriation?
I don't know. I don't care. It's a piece of shit drawing.
No, it's the best. Oh, I should show the stream my
The thing like isn't flipping frames. Wait, there it goes.
It's because it keeps
Okay.
getting stuck. I'm telling you, it's the tablet keeps getting stuck. Yeah, whatever you guys do, don't upgrade to El Capitan if you're an artist. It like just breaks everything. It's so obnoxious. It drives me insane.
Oh my god, I can't do
See?
this.
See?
Well, also your keyboard shortcuts are different.
Oh, what are yours?
And then
So someone asked, how do you animate environments or stages in fighting games to focus on the action and characters staging?
Very minimal.
Yeah, like, see, that's one of the things we're trying to figure out when we're first concepting. Like, Third Strike has some foreground in the game. Like, some other fighting games tend to have, like, more or less levels of foreground and background.
hell.
But,
Sometimes it gets distracting.
yeah, that's a problem. It gets distracting. Like in Third Strike, I know people hide behind that chair in Chun-Li stage.
Or King of Fighters 13, when you
my God.
get low in life, everything's like moving really fast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, King of Fighters 13's backgrounds are super distracting 'cause everyone just moves at like fire speed.
That one fat lady in the French stage.
Yeah, they're just all going berserk with their...
This is gonna be garbage.
That's fine. That's part of animating live. But yeah, like Guilty Gear does this great thing of where all their 2D Guilty Gears would have like crazy foreshortening on their stages backgrounds, and then they carried it over to the 3D ones too.
Uh-oh.
Like where if you look at it, it's just like this crazy perspective, just completely forced perspective on everything. And it's really cool. But yeah, you have to see. That's one of the problems we had earlier on with our background, especially, was that we composed it to look good as a single piece, not necessarily to look good on as a single screen. So like, it looked kind of boring actually, some of the early stages, with just fighting. But then like, as we went along, we made it so that when you're just on the level plane instead of jumping around, it still looks pretty good. But in the beginning, that was like one of the stuff we had to spend a lot of time getting right, and maybe we didn't do so hot on some of the stages. What's up, guys? Oh geez, El Capitan breaks web development environments too. God, El Capitan's breaking everything. I mean, I like the changes they did to it. Like, the user improvement is really nice. It's just work. I feel like every new version of like Mac stuff, either hardware or software wise, they'd make it less useful for people that use it as a tool.
Yep. Everything's going so
Casual.
Like, super casual.
Yeah, it's like so obnoxious. Like, I need it to work, not like, don't make the OS more stupid and simple. Make it like more usable.
Okay. Hooray! It looks like shit, but it moves. That's all.
It's pretty good. Oh, we should taught Richard and Brian about S curves and C curves.
That's hard.
But that's important if you're doing a foxtail.
Sure.
Let me ask Kieran and see if
So I didn't pay attention to any of the spacing. I just kind of straight aheaded it, and now from here I'd probably fix it up. But there it is.
I like that cat.
He doesn't look so happy.
Well, it's because his tail's on fire.
Here, Richard, I did it. It's not a fox. I did a cattail.
Yeah.
Can I have my coffee, please?
No.
Whoa.
Ta-da! Okay, that's it. I'm done. Do you want to animate now?
What do you want me to do? You already did a foxtail. A cat's tail.
Do something else.
Okay. I want to show the stream my animations I did for... Oh, actually, wait. Should I show secret boss stuff?
What's
Mike?
secret boss stuff?
Is Mike
Oh,
here?
wait. This is my chair.
Mike is in the bathroom. I'll wait to show them.
I'm not in the bathroom.
Oh, you mind if I show them the effects animation I did for the secret boss?
Kinda.
Okay, I won't do
But
it.
I guess I mean you mean just the effect or the
Yeah,
whole thing?
just the effect.
Oh yeah, you can do that, sure.
I'll save this cat. Tilty. Let's see. So the night before we were finishing the prototype, Mike wanted to put a secret boss in. So I spent like until midnight, no, past midnight, trying to do as many dumb effects as I could. Or dumb attacks. Came out pretty good. This might have the boss included. Gotta watch out.
Shouldn't we wrap up in like 10 minutes?
Well, Brian's not even here. Oh, let's go over C curves then. C curves and S curves. Well, I mean,
I don't know how to explain it.
ooh, it's stuck.
Oh yeah, try to do that with as few spoilers as possible.
We're just not gonna do it. Oh, damn it, it's stuck.
Do you know how to explain it? I don't know how to explain it.
I guess the most basic explanation is that when things move, like things like a tail move around, they tend to move in like C's down, and then when they reach the end, they do an S. Wait, maybe it's the other way around.
No, it, like if you step through this, the whole thing is some variation of an S.
Mm.
So just step through
I
it?
can't, it's stuck.
Oh. Is there a C in there? I guess there's sort of
Yeah.
a C. Well, it's like it's starting to make the next S, like an inverted S.
That's a C.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, things like this are all
Basically, the
S
base moves and everything else, like the rest of the tail, follows it. So the base of the tail is moving up and down, and then the rest of it just has to kind of like follow it. I don't know how else to explain it.
It's like there's like
Oh,
one,
you
one
can
GIF.
move the ball.
Yeah, where it's like a ball moving.
Does it work here?
Yeah, see? It kind of exits. He's playing basketball.
I've never done it that way.
I've done it sometimes when stuff was not working. I needed to figure stuff out. This is more for like follow through on capes and
Wait,
things.
will it
right?
animate?
No, I've unlocked in position each time.
Oh, have it unlock position. Try animating it.
I hate keeping things unlocked.
Just do it.
I mean, I do. Whoa.
Kind of works.
Okay, just flinging a bunch of fireballs. Kuroi Karasu says, I think of it as a wave of energy that travels from the base of the tail to the end of it.
I think that's one way to think of it, yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you know that the motion is coming from the base, then it's not that hard. Well, it's still hard. It's hard no matter what.
Yeah.
But definitely think of what the base is doing first instead of the tip.
I have an example. I have Miss Fortune's intro.
Yeah.
But keep going. Keep talking.
Well, I guess, it's easy to focus on what the tip is doing because that's the most interesting part.
Yeah.
But the motion has to come from the base of the tail. So start with that. And I've said this like 3 times now. Just like figure out the rest. Oh my god.
Yeah, here's my Miss Fortune animation from like a million years ago. Oh wait, no, this one's like a sentient tail. Also, wait, let's see.
I think it's
Oh, the frames are out of order.
also it goes straight.
Are you gonna say it's bad in front of the whole stream?
Well, I could critique it.
Or could you, Mariel? Wait, that looks weird.
Yeah.
I think that intro. I don't think I used this key. Did I?
See, the problem is that it goes straight. That.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Tails don't do that.
Yeah.
So what it needed to do is go from here. I don't know if the camera can see this.
Wait, that's weird.
Go up, down, and then start to bend, and do this.
That's really weird.
That's what it looked like. That's what you did.
Yeah, I would animate it different. I would animate it better now. Don't look at this actually. This sucks.
What about Misfortune's Idol? Do you have that?
Check.
I don't remember how I did that either.
Wait, why would I have that? What's your animation?
No, the compendium.
It looks so weird. Alright, here's my attempt.
What? That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. What? You can animate. That's so much better than my attempt.
It looks so rough.
It looks like he's like in the air, or like
It looks like he's agitated.
Oh. Okay.
Cats like flick their tail when they're agitated.
Flicky tail.
What? It's good. You did it.
Yeah.
Yay.
Animating.
Yeah, that's too fast.
Let's see, where's the idol?
Yeah, I mean, apart from playing too fast, I think the motion is good.
Do you mean stand idol or crouch idol?
Stand.
Because I did crouch idol. Wait, did I? I don't remember.
You did.
Yeah. Yeah, this had some nice S's. Oh wait, no, it didn't. Just a straight.
It's straighter than normal, but oh, it doesn't loop, huh?
Yeah. Well, it has a nice curve. You can kind
Yeah.
of see it.
See,
Whoa,
it never goes straight.
Yeah. I want to see mine. Where is it? Crouch idol.
I like drawing in size so much better than drawing in
I think Chris did this.
Oh, did he? Oh.
Yeah.
That tail is so crazy, it has a life of its own.
Yeah, Chris did this one.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I did nothing. Never mind, guys. I did a tree idol. It has no tail animation. It also has no frames. Why don't you answer some questions there?
Okay.
You know, we can make a furry fight.
Yeah.
If you guys have any questions, if you want to maybe scroll up in the chat. There's no questions.
Is Mike having personal conversations?
Yes.
In the chat.
32 is the only Windows and Mac portable format, by the way.
Does anybody else have any character that's probably not formatted with that 32?
I think Brian does. Or
I don't know
Richard
what mine is. It
Anyway,
might
well,
be-
if they want to ask questions
that's
now.
Not.
Yeah.
I think it might be
does. Some
NT.
questions there.
What's the one?
TFS?
Yeah.
That's fine.
That
NT.
might. Well, I don't know if it is or not. So I have to double
Maria,
check.
what is your favorite animation spell, girls?
So
Let's
let
look
me
at it
check
right
if
now.
there's a thing that,
Let's see. So when you animate a full character, do you separate layers for separate animations, aka arm animations layers 1 through 5, then go leg
4.7.
animations in the same frame, or do you draw the full character per
The
frame?
main issue is
John,
that
you do separate body parts.
32,
Yeah.
which can only handle
And I do full body.
for some reason.
And I think-
Use separate body parts?
Sometimes.
For some reason,
I didn't know that.
It depends on the animation.
being a dick and not
Um,
cut it out.
I had a problem where I started like
is
just drawing the key perfectly and then it fucked up all my animation. It's hard having to get out of it.
Yeah, I always prefer drawing the whole body just because I think it's important to get the right gesture in there.
You're back.
I'm back.
Did you get your wallet?
Yeah, I got my wallet.
Yay!
Richard made a foxtail.
Let me see.
So over there.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Richard, can you bring your computer over here so we can share the screen?
So that's
I can turn it that way.
Which is just formatted for
Will XFAT work?
Yes, XFAT will work.
But
Looks like a fart.
No, I can't see it.
The
Oh, really?
XFAT file says.
oh, I can.
Just email. Just email.
Yeah, I'll
it
try
to you.
to
XFAT is like the new thing.
Do you think it's good?
It'll need to work.
It's
What is
good for a
this?
first run. It's a couch.
Like,
Oh, get rid of the balls.
Get rid of your balls.
I did.
so is this what you do? Just
Why is there a pop
line
ball?
gesture first?
I mean, I just straight aheaded this, so it's not very
Oh.
good. But it kind of demonstrates it a little bit.
Chili Bean asked, Mariel and John, do you prefer animated humans or monsters more?
I guess people.
I like monsters.
Oh, you're using the monitor.
Because you can just
Oh,
kind of
okay.
flub
Yeah.
everything. And, well, not flub, but they're more
Do you need a monitor?
different and unique.
Evil
Mm.
monitor, that's all.
To different shapes.
I like animating girls.
So
Fine.
declare
I'd
the
rather-
cat as a girl.
I'd rather animate dudes.
Human girls.
What about human girls that just happen to be cats that are not really human looking?
What?
Cat. What?
What are you saying?
Furries?
No, like what if that cat was a human girl, just a cat?
But it's not. It
Or is
doesn't.
it the shape that matters?
I like animating a human girl.
Ah, okay.
So when you animate
One particular human girl?
Yes.
So when you animate a full character, do you do separate? Oh wait, you just answered that one. Yeah.
How do you animate a snake?
Snakes, if you look at them, they move really interestingly.
I mean, they move like the tail, basically.
They basically do. Like, I watched a video on it. Like, if you look at the trails they leave on the sand,
Yeah.
they're only touching like the very tips of the bottom when they move. That's how they're like getting traction.
Well, it
They're taking
depends on which
steps.
snake though, because sidewinders move like that tail,
Yeah,
but
that's
a
what
lot
I'm
of snakes actually follow like
The
they just kind of trace the same path. And
Oh.
does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like if you drew a path across that piece of paper, then the snake would trace that path each
Oh,
frame, so
yeah.
the waves would move down it rather than like that. Whereas sidewinders move more like that tail is moving right now, and they leave like a wide path across the desert.
Yeah.
I like snakes.
I watched a video on that.
Yeah,
It's the
sidewinders are freaking awesome.
It's also a good missile.
Yes, it's also a
What
wonderful
if a
missile.
snake coiled itself up and just rolled?
Also, sidewinders are super fast. There are legends or there is like myths of the hoop snake, which is it takes its tail on its mouth and things like that. It's not a real thing, but yeah. A snake ball is a real thing though.
Really?
Yes, like a ball of cobras.
How do you animate the dead? Mariel animated.
Watch the movie Reanimator.
Oh. Mariel animated a zombie kid for her first year film.
No.
No.
That never happened.
So specific.
I
I
have,
want
a,
to see
I
it.
have a copy of it somewhere on like an old computer somewhere.
I don't have any copies of my films. I threw them all out.
Right, John, I sent it to you.
Okay.
I think I have a really old GIF Mariel did. She'd probably kill me if I posted it.
Probably
I would.
What's wrong?
And then I'd have to reanimate you.
What?
But I would have the choice, and I would make the choice not to.
Wait, so if you reanimate him, does he come back like under your control?
How do I bring this out in the window?
I don't like this.
Why is it so
Damn
dark?
it.
I feel like so much lighting. Oh, it must be that passage.
Oh no!
What's going on? Are you falling?
I couldn't see the thing.
Oh yeah, look at. Let me see.
Here's
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Switch its tail. It's good for what's going on in the body.
What?
A rib cage exploded or something. Yeah, it's pretty good.
What's the difference between a walk cycle and a run cycle, and which one is harder to animate?
I think walks are harder.
Walks are harder because they're slower.
Yeah, there's
subtle.
more
It'll
things
be
to do.
subtle.
Yeah.
Subtle is always hard. It seems so much harder.
I mean, the difference between a walk and a run is that when you're walking, you always have one foot on the ground.
Yeah.
When you're running, there's a period where you don't have any feet on the ground. Because you're just making bigger strides and you're sort of jumping. I don't know.
Let's see if I can find a walk. Whoa, how come we don't have any from Skullgirls? Whatever. Let's look at Miss Fortune's walk.
Oh, the hunched over.
This is a good walk. Oops. Yeah, there's always one foot planted on the ground.
Did you do that or I do that?
You probably did it.
I don't remember who fucking did what.
A long time ago.
Ryan, does your monitor do HDMI?
I can check.
It won't do sound.
That sucks. Okay,
It's on the
Do not believe it was mine.
does this one?
Was there any other, like a dash or something you want to see?
You could look up Valentine's Dash.
Yeah.
It was like 6 frames.
That's pretty good. Wasn't that based on like Maki from SNK vs. Capcom? Or Capcom vs. SNK 2?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of just like a generic.
Ninja Run.
Yeah.
Movement. Dash forward.
All I did was I took it home like this.
What if I was
There you go.
what if I was really good at animating foxtails because I was a connoisseur? Why?
Hey, happens.
Hmm.
A lot of the best animators I knew at school were furries. They have really good sense of form and stuff.
Yeah.
Did it work okay?
I think this is pretty stiff, so maybe it's not a great example.
Yeah, it's funny to look at these old ones and be like, who could do it better?
I'll
Well, Valentine in general was like, we did it in like a month or less than a month.
Yeah.
do you know what it was called?
Yeah,
all
it's
things
in a
considered.
directory called GNS video.
Okay.
Anyway, we should probably wrap it up.
Okay. Any last questions before we kill this
We're
string?
not going to see the questions for like a million years. Okay, I think we're going to take off for today.
Thanks
So
for,
thank you all for joining.
If you
I
like
hope.
this, should we do more animation streams or something? I guess we're gonna do art streams anyway, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring
What's
your
the homework assignment?
get your questions to us, maybe. Richard, your homework assignment is to animate squiggly,
Okay.
like Reanimator.
I got it.
Bring it back to Luscious. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Let me switch to the other camera.
This one yours?
Thanks for watching.
My hand is Richard.
Yeah, this is Richard's.
Oh,
Bye bye.